respected chairman, and distinguished eminent personalities on the dais and off the dais. The topic I would like to discuss with you today is the adaptive technology and enhanced learning and teaching. See, the role of ICT has paved a lot to improve the quality of the education for the last decade. We have been experiencing web-based education and e-learning kind of stuff for the last several years. But is it really a success? In one part it is a success, but when you just talk about the user's point of the usability of the system and how best it is, this is one of the major problems that we have been facing it. As our chairman has already mentioned it now, even most of our professors or the educators, they are working in the educational sector, they have been working it for the last 30 to 40 years. And changing their mindset, it is a bit difficult thing. But as you know that a transformation in education sector is a necessity today. So how do we take a transformation in the education sector? So we need to transform many things, but if we take the curriculum of the curriculum, even the Ohm's law or the Newton's law, it's not changing. It is as same as we have, even the time Newton has discovered, even now our children is studying it. But where exactly the changes has to happen and how effectively it has to be happen. In this sector, I feel that there are a lot of challenges and opportunities because of the changing role of our life, changing role of our nation, and to help the nation, because as you know that India is trying to make it as a superpower by 2020, and education is one of the thrust area. So innovative in educational models with a strong support on education research. This is one thing I would like to mention it here. And overall vision of this is, India has poised to emerge as one of the best developed countries by 2020, and education is one of the thrust area where we have billions of people. And if you take the statistics about 1.22 billions of people, interestingly, 1 to 25 ages, 50% is 1 to 25 ages. So this is one of the very crucial point our educators has to discuss it and how we can educate them well and to strengthen our educational thing and also to strengthen our economics of the nation. And to improve the quality of the education, the most important thing is the research. The faculty, they should have the time for doing research. How many of our institutions or how many of universities have giving time for the faculty to do research? They have time only to do their examinations, evaluate their answer sheets, and distribute their question paper answer sheets and all. So one semester will get over and to get the maximum result out of that. So with this system that we have been doing it for for years, with the same system, I think we need to rethink. That's what we have to think. The educators and the policy makers, they have to think out of the boxes. Otherwise, my feeling is that the transformation in education sector will not take place. So our conventional system need to have some changes. There exactly we need innovations. So I think all of you are very familiar with this story, the 5 blind men and an elephant. So the first time when these people have seen the elephant, you know that the tail they have seen it as a rope. Now we have to think it like that. This is innovation. So as Albert Einstein has told, innovation is more important than knowledge. Of course, it is a tail, but that is what we have been doing it. But some days we have to think it's a rope. Then only innovations will come, then only changes will come, then only improvement will come. This is what we have to do it in education also. Just I mentioned about the scalability. So as I mentioned it, there are 1.22 billions where exactly we have 50% of in the age of 1 to 25. And at the same time, rural India has got 700 billion people. And if you just take the GDP level, they are 10,000 rupees, 10,000 per year. And if you really wanted to transform India, or to make it as a developed country, this 700 million people has got a bigger role. So education has to go from not only in the urban side, it has to go to the rural side also. How can we do it? With the system that we have, even my last speaker has given a statistics of the engineering colleges or the other colleges, but that is only a small portion of that. It has to go from anywhere, any corner of our nation. So ICT has, you know, that it plays a better role, but as I mentioned it earlier, we have been doing it web-based education. But when you develop a technology, how good this technology is that? So you can have a lot of technology, the advancement of technology and all, you can develop a lot of products and all. But the technology, it has to make a difference in your life. It has to, if you develop a technology, a user, any user, even in the rural side, they have to use that technology in an easy manner. That is one of the reasons that mobile has become that much popular. It's an easy way we can do the mobile things. So that's why any technology you develop, it becomes a success if anybody, any people in India or anywhere, they have to use that technology in an easy manner. So if you go for web-based education system, our system has to be taken by each and every people. Or if the student, if you're talking about an education system, the stakeholders are teachers and students. But the level of understanding as to, you know, the student, it varies from student to student, and even to teachers also. The level of understanding, it varies from teacher to teacher. But how do we incorporate this into a web-based education system? Is it possible? So by learning, by seeing your face, when I teach, by seeing your face or by interacting with you, I would be able to know that how best you would be able to cope up with that. But if I am doing it a web-based education, it's something we are missing. So I'm just thinking of a model where we can incorporate that kind of emotional or an adaptive kind of learning, where we can set up the different levels of the student and they can choose the way they want to learn. And another issue or another problem we have been facing is the employability. India's higher education system contributes about 4 lakh engineers and 2.5 million university graduates annually coming to our workforce. The survey done by McKinsey Global Institute shows multinationals find only 25% of them are employable. And NASCON report foresees that shortage of 5 lakh knowledge workers and skilled workers in the near future. This is also something we need to address it very seriously. So I here propose an adaptive web-based education. The model, it has got all the component of a basic web-based systems, but it is more dynamic. And this is an activity-based learning, and with the collaboration tools and all. And there is a paradigm shift, where a shift from a static content to a dynamic, where more interaction with the student and teacher collaboration. And we have proposed an habituous learnings and an adaptive learning structure. So apart from this adaptive technology learning, apart from the development of e-learning and contents, so we have to develop a development of a multimedia and assistive technologies for a better learning environment. In order to address the scalability, it should deploy it in a cloud-based architecture. And now we have an NKN or a normal internet-based systems, we have to use it that. And an ubiquitous learning system has to be developed. In an architecture for ubiquitous learning, U-learning has to become with the digital gaming. Digital gaming is not exactly the computer games that we are talking about. Even the idea is taken from the computer games. So computer games, even you can have different levels. Even a 4-year child can learn the same game. Even a 30-year person can learn or do the same game, or a 50-year. So there are different levels of gaming we can. Likewise, we should have a different levels of learning. So digital learning in learning also has to be incorporated in that. This architecture we have proposed, it has got a wider component and it takes a lot of time. Research has to be done it in that. So we need to know the students' capability and what is their interest. So students has to choose and what kind of courses they have to do and what level of training they have to take. And there should be an assessment, and based on the assessment, the level has to change it. So a lot of things has to be incorporated in the system. So this is more or less
could you please summarize?
Yes, the virtual learning center, and this is exactly what we proposed in the multimedia and assistive technology, so that what exactly it means is that we have a different users, one may be a different, even a handicapped person, they'll have a personalized window for their learning. And there should be certain hardware-oriented kind of thing also there, where internally you can have an RFID, externally you can have a GPS-based, so that certain information, environmental details, it will automatically capture it and give it to you. And for the analysis of the students, it is more a research problem, where we have to have the emotional changes, even the speech, if interpreter can also be put into that, a language changes, a different language people can also be put it, this all has to be worked together. And student analysis, as I told us, considering the student analysis, that the level has also been changed it and improved the outcome of that. That's all in my presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Shirly.